أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Good day to each and everyone. For today's videos, we will continue our discussion for our previous topics for our prelim. We know that we have already our prelim exams last season of our classes. Just giving you a little um, reminders about our prelim exams. For those who have not yet taken their exam due to some valid reason, okay, that has been presented, um, okay, most probably we will be having our special exams for those not have yet taken their exam after our final exams. Okay, but just keep updated back because there will be somehow an additional information about that one. Okay, and then for those who have already taken their exam, I have not yet checked your exam, but currently I'm handling it. Okay, so just again keep updated for the result of your exams, but be sure that okay this if you have already taken your exam, I will not giving you a second chance, or another thing is that I'm not giving I'm not I will not give some chance regarding on those want to take their removal exam if they will become a fail in these particular exams. Okay, so it means that if you have already um taken your exam, okay, with a failing grades, just do your best on the upcoming exams, major exams, okay? Or maybe the quizzes. Okay, but if you have any question uh, regarding on our conditions, okay, you may just have to ask it to me, okay? Okay, so now, uh, proceeding to our second, proceeding to our next topics now for this midterm coverage. Our topic for this one is we call this one as a 4-year analysis, or usually no we are actually studying here the what's so called as 4-year series, no. Okay, so now giving you a little um brief overview about this 4-year analysis. Okay, Fourier analysis or Fourier series is a series where we are representing some function or a given function that has a period, no? Take note that has a period, okay? Uh, okay, when you say a period, no, it is actually occurring uh, the occurring of a certain value of a function at a certain time. So, ibig sabihin nun, um, yun yung tendency na nangyayari again, no? Again and again, yung isang value ng kuan natin, isang value ng function natin at a certain time. Okay. So we are representing that periodic function in terms of Fourier series, okay? To fully um to fully understand or to fully uh introduce the characteristics of our given function. Okay, so um, wait lang. So we have here a Fourier series, no? So if you have to read this one, no, a Fourier series are infinite series that represent a periodic function in terms of cosine and sines. No, so yun. We are actually representing those given function in terms of sine and cosines. Okay? So, yun. Basta pag sinabi mong periodic function, those function that actually satisfies this equation number 1, we have f of x plus p is equals to f of x, where p is a period of a function. Kasi ibig sabihin nito, f of x or the value of f of x at a certain time is equal pa rin siya, no? At some scale where we increase the domain of a certain function at a certain period p. Okay? So yun, equal sila kumbaga. So kagaya ng figure natin dito that uh, at some case, no, the value here is na ulit dito. Okay? So yun. So yan yung ibig sabihin ng function, periodic function. Okay, so basahin na lang natin siya about periodic function. Okay? So, okay, ito. So, we have to represent the function, no, as a trigonometric identities where it's maybe sine or cosine, no? So, we have here, itong one na to, itong part na to, ito yung tinatawag nating Fourier series, no? Fourier series of a certain function that has a period p. Okay? So yun. So as you can see here, meron tayong cosine, meron tayong sine, and at a certain constant, we have a1, a sub o a1, b1, a2, b2, no? And so on and so forth. Okay, and of course we have here n and summation notation here, no, to represent the series of this equivalent equivalency of our function na given. Okay, so yun. So now, okay, for us to be able to represent the given function in terms of or in their equivalent sine or cosine function or their equivalent Fourier series, no? We have to use this equation number 5 here. Now we have here f of x, no? So this would be the given function f of x, okay, is equals to a sub o plus summation of a n cosine of nx plus bn sine of nx, um uh okay, from n is equals to 1 up to infinity. Okay, now this a sub o here at saka a sub n at saka b sub n are given by the equation number 6. We have here a sub o is equals 1 over 2 pi integral of f of x from negative pi to pi of dx, and a sub n is equals to 1 over pi integrated of f of x from negative pi to pi cosine of nx dx. Okay, so yan. Same for bn. Okay, so yan yung gagamitin natin to find the constant a sub o, a sub n, and b sub n. Okay? Okay. Mamaya makikita natin kung ano yung application niyan. Okay, so ito. Example, let us look at this example. We have here example number 1. We call this one as a periodic rectangular wave. So when you say periodic rectangular wave, those rectangular function in which its value at a certain time is reoccurring um, or repeating at some certain period, okay, with respect to time, okay, or with respect to its domain. Okay, so sabi dito, find the Fourier coefficient of the periodic function f of x in figure 260. We have the formula is f of x is equals to negative k if x is from negative pi to 0, and it is equals to k if x is from 0 to pi. Okay, and then f of x plus 2 pi is equals to f of x. So, ibig sabihin nito, ang period natin is 2 pi. Okay? Okay, so we have here function of this kind that co-occur as external forces acting on mechanical system, electromotive forces, and okay, so no need to read that one, but just a phenomenon of our given function. So we have here solution, no? We have from 6.0 sa previous natin na equation, 6.0, okay? From 6.0, we obtain that a sub o is equals to 0. This can also be seen without integration. So tingnan natin Okay, sabi doon, if we substitute the value of f of x here sa 6, sa 6 and 0, 6 and 0, 6, 0 dito, if we substitute the value of f of x, makukuha natin na a sub o would be equals to 0. So, try nyo lang yun siya. No? Ibig sabihin nun, okay, itong value ng f of x natin in which negative k at saka k, kung ipapalit natin dito sa formula na to sa 6, 0, okay, dito, papalit natin dito sa f of x dito, so, tapos gagamitin natin yung limit doon. So, ang maso-solve natin na a sub o would be equals to 0. So, paki-try, no? I will let you to try that one. I-check nyo kung totoo ba talaga na yung a sub mo natin is equals to 0. Okay? So, this can also be seen without integration since the area under the curve of fx between negative pi to pi taken with the minus sign where fx negative is 0, no? Saan pala yung graph natin? Ito. Okay? So, as you can see here, no, if we have to find the value of area here and area here, dito sa graph natin na to, okay? So, the area here would be the negative of the area here. Tama ba? So, if we add that one, no, if we add that one, okay? So, therefore, the value is 0 kasi they are opposite eh. Tama pala yung kanina, no? Pero paki-try lang. Try nyo kung tama ba yung a sub o is 0 or hindi, no? Using the equation 6, 0. Okay. So, we obtain the coefficient a1, a2 of the cosine term since f of x is given from the expression, the integral from negative pi to pi split into integrals, no? Since yung equation or yung given natin na f of x is may dalawa siyang value, no? From different limits of x. We have to split the integral, no? As you can see here, yung equation 6.1 natin or 6.1 natin is an, no? O yes, an is equals to 1 over pi integral of f of x, cosine of and x dx. Now, if we have to substitute the value of f of x natin which is negative k at saka k, so ito yung mangyari. Okay? We have 1 over pi is 1 over pi multiplied by integral of negative k cosine of nx dx, no? Yun yung kayo, ayun, negative k, pinalit natin sa f of x. Integrated from negative pi to 0, no? Since yun yung limit niya, no? Define siya from negative pi to 0. Okay? Plus 0 to pi k cosine of nx dx. Yung k natin is ito yun siya, yung value na dito ng pangalawa. Okay? Then, its limit is from 0 to pi since it is defined from 0 to pi here. Okay? So, yun. So, integrating this one as a whole, no? So, we have the final answer would be equals to 0 because sin of nx is equals to 0, tama, no? Kahit anong value yung n, basta palitan mo yung x ng pi, so magiging 0 talaga yun siya. Okay? At negative pi and 0. Negative pi, 0, and pi. So lahat ng value ng sign doon is 0. Even if n is from 1 to infinity, 0 talaga yung magiging value niya. So that's why a sub n natin is also 0. We see that all these cosine coefficient are 0, that is the Fourier series of 7 has no cosine terms, just sine terms. Okay, so it is further sine series, no, with constant coefficient of b1, b2, b2. And that is obtained using 6b. Okay? Yung equation natin for constant na bn. Okay? Ito yan siya. Okay? So, yan. Okay. So, using the equation bn is equals to 1 over pi integrated from negative pi to pi of f of x sine of nx dx. Okay? So we have to substitute once again the value of the value of f of x in which negative k and k for a certain x, no? We have to substitute that one, and once again the same with this an here. We have to split the integral, no, as you can see here. Then finding the integral, okay, or the value of this integral. So we have here since cosine, okay, yun, no. If we ito na yun siya, no, integral of negative k sine of nx is k cosine of nx over n. Okay, and then integral of k sine of nx is equals to negative k cosine of nx over n. Now, if we substitute the value or if we substitute the limit that is from 0 to negative pi and pi to 0, okay? So, mangyayari is, sabi dito, since cosine of negative alpha is equals to cosine of alpha pa rin, no? From our trigonometric identity, and cosine of 0 is equals to 1, this yields, Bn natin is equals to k over nx cosine of 0 minus cosine of negative n pi minus cosine of n pi plus cosine of 0. Okay, in which it is equals to 2k over n pi minus 1 minus cosine of nx. Now, since cosine of 0 is 0 dito, so magiging 1 dito. Cosine of 0 is 1, magiging 1 dito. Tapos, negative cosine of negative n pi is parehas. Cosine of n pi pa rin siya. Tapos, cosine of n pi, negative cosine of n, so magiging 2 na yun siya, no? Tapos, cosine of 0 na naman dito is 1. So, that's why factor out yung 2 dito at saka yung 2 rito sa 2 at constant na 2 at saka yung constant ng cosine of n pi. So, yun. So, we have here the value of 2k over n pi multiplied by 1 minus cosine of n pi. Okay? So, sabi dito, now, cosine of pi is equals to negative 1. Okay? Cosine of pi is equals to negative 1, cosine of 2 pi is equals to 1, cosine of 3 pi is negative 1. So therefore, in general, we can say that cosine of n pi is equals to negative 1 and cosine of n pi is 1 if for n is odd, no? And 1 for n is even, no? So as you can see here dito sa statement na to. Okay? Now, therefore, 1 minus cosine of n pi is 2 for n is odd. No, bakit? Kasi 1 minus negative 1 is 2. No? So, yun. Kaya 2 rito. Tapos, 0 siya for n is even kasi 1 minus 1 here na value ng cosine of n pi would be equals to 0. Okay, so yun yung answer, no? So ibig sabihin 1 minus cosine of n pi is equals to 2 if for n is odd and equals to 0 for n is even. Okay, based on this statement here. So therefore, we can say that b1 is equals to 4k over pi. B2 is equals to 0 since yung even na n natin is 0. So, 0 multiplied by 2k over n pi is 0 pa rin. So, yun. Tapos, B3 is 4k over 3 pi. B4 na naman natin is 0 once again for n is even. And B5 is 4k over 5 pi. Okay? So, up to so on and so forth. Okay? So, yun. So as you can see here, ito yung value, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, no? Um, para yung kuan natin, no, we have to represent the given function in terms of sine and cosine. Okay, then we have to sum up that sine and cosine terms to formulate the expected to formulate the expected what do you call this one? Expected graph of our given function. As you can see here, malapit na siyang maging square wave, no? Given the function natin. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng Fourier series. We have to represent the given function in terms of sine and cosine, and then we have to sum up that sine and cosine infinitely to 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 find or to have the final graph of our given function. Okay? So, yun. So,